The Contagious Diseases Acts, passed between 1864 and 1869, were among some of the most abhorrent and discriminatory pieces of legislation to curtail women's rights in the 19th century. Passed to combat the spread of sexually transmitted diseases, which it was feared was debilitating Britain's military, the Acts gave the police power to stop any woman suspected of being a prostitute in a port or garrison town, and forced them to be subjected to a medical examination by speculum. If any sign of a sexually transmitted disease was discovered, the woman would then be detained in a lock hospital, where she would stay until the symptoms disappeared. Here at the National Archives, we can read the story of Elizabeth Burley, whose extraordinary attempt to avoid this fate highlights the fear this legislation caused. On the 15th of March 1881, two police officers, Carley and Griffiths, spotted a young woman in Snargate Street, Dover, who they suspected of being a prostitute. At their approach, the woman, the 18-year-old Burley, ran away and a dramatic chase ensued. In desperation to avoid arrest, the woman jumped into Granville Dock, but then, when recovered, found herself charged with the criminal offence of attempting suicide. As it turned out, Elizabeth Burley was not a prostitute. She had, however, recently fallen on hard times, previously been a resident of a local workhouse, and been made homeless 2 weeks earlier. During the police investigation, her morality was repeatedly questioned, but it could be determined that she had only fallen in respect of one man, a corporal in the army. The dramatic events of the 15th of March and the subsequent police investigation caused a public outcry. Meetings were held across Dover and a petition was sent to the government, calling for the Acts to be repealed. As resolutions adopted at these meetings and the petition explained, the police had no legal right to accost the girl Burley in the public street, nor to run after her in the way they did, and that whether the girl was or was not immoral had nothing whatsoever to do with the illegal conduct of the police. That Elizabeth Burley should be driven in desperation, and that she should seek to escape from the open infamy involved in the attention of these officials, need not surprise anyone who has read anything of the ordeal to which the Acts compel women to submit. The Contagious Diseases Acts remained in force for another 5 years before eventually being repealed, thanks to the campaigning efforts of Josephine Butler and others, during which time women continued to be subjected to the fate Burley jumped into the docks to avoid.